Hello everybody and welcome to another video. So let's talk about Obsidians. This isn't like the proper intro. Basically what I've done here is cut together a montage while listening to a song for Millie Michelson. I cut together a montage of all the Obsidians for us to go back and get around the world. At the end of the last episode, we had 85 Obsidians and I told you guys there were 15 to collect. There's actually 10 to collect. And all with the exception of one, all of these are ones you have to come back to later when you can fly really far, basically. And I'll talk about that one that wasn't. Basically, I only missed one obsidian that we could have got like the first time we were there, which I think is really impressive. Anyway, the first one was here in the Ice Islands. You might remember these when we were, traveling along the glaciers. And also, sort of suck this in, guys. This is the last time we're going to be seeing a lot of these areas. Then the other one was also in this area. You only needed 2 flaps of your wing to get that, so you didn't need air power 3, just air power 2. But yeah, 2 in the Frozen Islands. There were also 2 in the Flame Chasms of Doom. One of them's actually right near the Fire Guardian Stronghold, so that's where we are at the moment. The Fire Guardian Stronghold was on the right. If you go along the left, you might remember me showing this off. I was collecting a couple of gems. There's that acid block level 3. And behind that acid block, see, I think in the LP when I first came here, I said, oh, I think there might be a disc fragment behind there. It's not a disc fragment. The disc fragment was behind the smash shield. This was just an obsidian. Speaking of smash shields as well, like there's what, 2 in the entire game? 2 smash shields, 1 that's really important. Anyway, in the Fire Guardian Stronghold 2, we missed a single obsidian that you needed final air power to get. And it's really tricky to get to this one because you can't like jump over the banister and fly altogether. You have to position yourself on the railing, which is really awkward, as you can see I'm trying to do here, because if you miss, you're going to fall and die. But if you can get on the railing like I'm demonstrating, you can jump across with like just 2 flaps of the wing, 3 flaps. So you do need air power 3, but that's basically the way you get this obsidian. And you can't get that first time through, obviously, because you don't have that high air power. Back to the Flame Chasms of Doom. Again, right near the start, so this is near the Oracle, near the save point. There's another one on top of a doorway over there, as you can see, which again you need to fly quite far to. So one of them is an acid block level 3, which means you get it right at the end of the game. This one is air power 3, which means you get it right near the end of the game. So, it makes sense to wait until you can get the air power, and then you can get the acid block and this one together. The trickier one with this, of course, is getting back from that position to sort of where you need to go. Anyway, to the Electrical Forest, probably has one of my favourite obsidians in the game. But first of all, there's a really simple one. So this is in the second save point. If you remember this area with all the gems that I pointed out several times. And I showed you guys this obsidian quite explicitly and said, yeah, don't try and get it. If you fly for it, you'll die. This was something I tried to find in my test file. That one over there. Well, now that we can fly, it's sort of trivial to get there, Very trivial, especially considering when we first came to this location, we only had air power 1. And now you can just fly friggin' all over the place. The risk with that, really, out of anything, with the angle I did, was I thought I was going to die from full damage. There you go, that's that obsidian. The next one, as I said, this one is fantastic. It's really well hidden. You're either going to love stuff like this or hate stuff like this. This one, do you remember where we get the key that overlooks the cliff? Like where we're currently stood is on a cliff that overlooks where you first enter the region, okay? And we got a key here originally. So you come to where the key was, and with your final air power, so right at the end of the game you have to do this, you can fly on top of the lava fall. So if you remember, the first obsidian we got was at the bottom of this lava fall. Like, it was just down, we grabbed it, and I said, get it and go back and save. Well, at the top of the lava fall, you can only get by coming back at the end of the game and flying across from that key. What an obscure place it asks you to come back to. There's no way you can see that obsidian until you fly towards this, random ledge here. And there's even a bit of a challenge getting back down after that. Very crazy obsidian. One of the most well-hidden ones. That's on the level of the one in the Ring of Fire area in the water zone. Which is probably one of my favourite, maybe, obsidian in the whole game. That one's just so well hidden. I'm talking about the one in the dark cave where you shoot yourself up the geyser and then you get on the ice block, if you remember, and then like climb up the vines behind the waterfall. Anyway, there's this obsidian here, which I feel like maybe I get in the wrong way, but I can't for the life of me see an easier way to do it. This is near the lift where we got our firepower one. We were here in episode 2, for God's sake. And one of the last obsidians we're ever going to get on top of that big icy archway. And what you want to do, you need your final air power. Maybe you could do it with air power 2, but I think you need air power 3. And you've got to jump where I'm futilely trying to right now. And if you do it from just the right place, like if you stand on this rock, here I'm about to do it successfully. You jump on this rock and then you fly around the corner at it, you can get up. There might be another way to do it, but I didn't want to like risk jumping onto the lift itself. because I felt like maybe that would make the lift just move. So I don't know. There could be another angle, maybe from those icy crystals. but my way worked too. And you get a couple of gems with that too. Very bizarre obsidian, like sort of right out there. Very obvious where it is, but you're never really going to want to come back here. But you have to at the end of the game. So the next one is this one, which we saw very recently. This is in the Great Tree area, in this large tree trunk. Do you remember that there's this acid block level 3? It's kind of a big middle finger to you because you've got basically every single power except the final Earth. And they throw this in your path, so you can't get it. So they force you to backtrack. The really cruel thing about that is this one takes ages to get to and ages to get back to a save point as well. But it does mean that you find yourself walking down backwards through the Great Tree. So I cut in this little bit of footage here because you never really see yourself going down the Great Tree. You just climb up and then you get the fragment and then you teleport to town and you just leave it. But if you go back for this obsidian, the game actually forces you to see some areas from an angle you wouldn't usually appreciate. So I left this footage in because it was quite nice. It was seeing the zones from a different angle that I usually didn't. And the final obsidian, this is 95. That was pretty cool, wasn't it? I cut it this early in just to show you guys that. The final one, this is the one that I could have got on my first time through the area. I don't know, it just slipped my mind. I'm not too familiar with this zone. So the one obsidian that I missed on my first time through, out of 100, so I'm still pretty proud of myself, was this one here. It's in the rain machine, lower area of the rain machine, right down the slope to get here. And you'll actually see there's some fans off in the distance. You can see them just over there on the far side right now. And it never crossed my mind that it was there. I ran around collecting the gems while we were playing, but I just forgot about this. What more can I say? I was also really concerned that I had got this because I knew I got this on my test file. So as I was running along here, I was terrified that, you know, the obsidian wouldn't appear. But alas, it did. And that is our final obsidian. So that's the locations of all of them. We now have 95. There are 5 more to get, but they're actually in an area we haven't seen yet. I'm going to cut in the rest of the episode now where we get those remaining 5. So, yeah, let's do it. Characters. Here I attempt to sketch and capture the personalities of my junior Law Guardians. Azurik. Azurik's mother, the Law Guardian Nafa, undertook a pilgrimage to the periphery to learn more of the elemental realms and perished there. Azurik came to the Order following her death and petitioned to join us. I refused him, fearing that his recent loss would cloud his ability to focus on scholarly matters. Undaunted, Azurik set off for the periphery, retraced his mother's footsteps and found her body. Using her Law Guardian's staff, Azurik cremated her worldly shell, releasing her spirit. He returned to the colony, staff in hand, and I was so impressed with Azurik's courage that I made him my apprentice. In the last 5 years, Azurik has learned much. He is a bright pupil and a quick learner. Although he is primarily a scholar, Azurik is capable of running long distances, swimming and jumping far and high. His fighting prowess with the staff is formidable and not to be underestimated. It's funny that last paragraph there about what Azurik can do. It's like the game was going to have multiple characters at one point and those are his special abilities kind of thing. Pretty funny. Also, a bit of backstory there that I guess, you know, we'll never really see. You know, that was even space for a prequel. Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Azurik. I know we're sort of halfway in because of the Obsidian bit here. But, yeah, this is our save file, 73 in-game days later, and we've got all of the discs, except for the death disc, and all of our powers. I am settling in here. This morning I woke up, I had egg and soldiers, I've had black coffee as well, which is always nice when I decide I actually want to go and have it. And I'm settling in here for our final play session, basically. Our final play session, our quest, and that doesn't mean it's going to be the last episode. But we are sort of settling into the final thing here. I don't know, 3 episodes or so maybe, tops? It's really weird for me to think of that, really weird. I don't know. In some ways I feel like I've been playing quite a lot of this game, like more than I expected. But in other ways it feels like the end is like proper snuck up on us. It really has. Very curious anyway. But yeah, today we're going into the sewers, as I showed off at the end of last episode. And we are looking, and I've still got a cough, yes. It wouldn't be an Azurik episode if I didn't have a cough. And we're going to be going to try and find the death disc. Now, the game just leaves it up to the player to figure out exactly what is going on here. But you will have seen the sewers many times. And especially with areas like this, you'll know, especially once you've got your final air power, that you can fly into the sewers from many different angles. There are loads of ways to get in, but only one way to get out. This is the only exit because you can fly over there to that broken bridge there. Which you can I can barely see it, but there is a broken bridge on the far side, and that's a ladder. So that is your only opportunity for leaving the sewers. And it's a really interesting area. Do you know what I should have done, actually? It's an interesting area because it's pitch black in there. Absolutely pitch black. So, you need to be very careful that you don't run out of fire element. It's a labyrinth. It's a huge maze. I was talking about mazes being like poor game design. We've got 2 labyrinthian style areas coming out. Well, not a labyrinth. A labyrinth technically, like you can get out if you only go forward. But we got 2 big mazes basically through the end of the game that we have to deal with. And this is the first of them. Within this area, there are 5 obsidians. We have 95 obsidians right now. Look at all the discs spinning. That's so cool. Oh, and something else I wanted to mention as well. Look at the design of all the discs, right? They've all got, like, hollow centers that you can look through. But then the light disc is, like, a totally different design. That's really curious, isn't it? And then the death disc is a different design, too. I wonder where that decision came from, why they decided to do that. Really weird. Also, we've extended the fuel cells on every element that we own except air, to like their final capacities. Air is the last one. We need 30 more diamonds, and I'm hoping to get those before the end of the game, so I can show you off this cool new power. But yeah, oh, I should have gone up and spent our 90 obsidian, whatever, it doesn't matter. So anyway, we're going to go into the sewers, and you've got to be quick here, okay? Because if you're not quick, then we don't want to go forward. If you go left straight away, you'll find there's another Diluvian Stalker. I would recommend ignoring the stalkers, just run past them as best you can, because otherwise you're going to waste time, and it's pretty easy to run past them. You're going to waste time, you know, running out of fire element, which can be really dangerous. Now, I do have a much higher fuel cell for my fire element at the moment than I had on my test play, and this is one of those examples where you really do want to have extended it a few times while playing this game, because otherwise you can get caught in the dark very quickly, and it will be complete pitch black, and you basically have to quit the game because you can't see any damn thing. My tactic here, though, that I did, and let your fire shield run basically all the way out before you pop your next one. My tactic here was to just keep hugging the left wall. That gets you 3 obsidians if you keep hugging the left wall. We're in what is sort of considered to be the outer ring right now, okay? We're sort of on the edges, and if you keep hugging left, eventually you will find like other exits and other signs of daylight as you go. So this is like the outer ring, and then there's like an even more maze-like area on the inside. And it's actually good that we're exploring it, because there's loads of diamonds for us to pick up, which could extend our ASL if, I don't know, it might not fully extend it, but we'll get pretty damn close. So yeah, here's, like here, we actually get out. But the thing is, like, you get to see sweet sunlight here, but there's no ladder to exit, so we're still sort of stuck and basically going to have to kill ourselves if we don't know our way back. Now, right now, I know my way back just because it's right at every turn. But it's going to get complicated later, and I don't know this maze very well. I don't know it very well, like, and the next maze as well later on. Oh, guys, I don't know what this final section of this LP is going to be like, because I'm not 100% sure. I've been less sure since we did the air realm stuff, because it's not stuff from my childhood, you know? I've just been so much less sure about myself, and now I'm pretty sure this is a dead end after this diamond, but I do want the diamond anyway, let me just be sure. So, yeah, there you go, that's a dead end, good. So, I don't know how this is going to go. I hope it doesn't just become a complete mess. I quite like the idea of doing LPs where I'm very knowledgeable the whole way through, except, like, I do one episode where it's, this isn't blind, but, you know, I do, like, one semi-blind episode each time. Anyway, you'll find 3 obsidians on the outer ring, which we've now done. We now have 98 out of 100 in the game. And what we're going to do is go into the middle now. This is where it gets dangerous and scary. We're only about a third done. There's another obsidian there, so I'm pretty sure I know the way from here. We're only about a third of the way through our fire cell, so I'm okay. I shouldn't run out of time just for a while. But I like it. It's kind of tense. This is kind of like underwater gameplay in games where you run out of breath, isn't it? This is basically the exact same premise. It's you're in this area, you can't breathe, you're going to run out eventually. It reminds me a lot of like old Tomb Raider games where you would... here we go. So this is the center of the maze. This is fantastic. In the center of the maze, there are 2 obsidians for collecting and a large elevator going down. The thing is, the game's quite cheeky with you here. If you go down that elevator, you're going to get stuck in the death realm. But it makes you come all the way to the entrance of the death realm so you can get your 100th obsidian. Look at that. I'm so proud of myself. 100 obsidians. So what you want to do is get back out now. And this is the dangerous moment that I feel like I'm going to get lost and never see the light of day again. There is a specific way to get out very quickly. I just don't know it. So I'm just going to keep going left here and hope we find it somewhere. But yeah, you basically have to brave the trials of the maze, get your 100 obsidians, and then find your way back out. We're going to take a right here. Now, as long as I can get to the outer ring, I'll be fine. Okay, so we're in the outer ring. And where exactly are we? What's that, the earth realm over there? Water realm? Is that the water realm? No, that's the earth realm. Okay, and we're going to the elemental temple. So, where do we want to be? It's where you want to be. I think this way. I'm going to guess. I'm just going to sort of rotate around the outer realm. But with 100 obsidians, shit. And the thing is, it's almost like you can fly over these, but the thing is, you can't use your firepower and your air at the same time. Alright, we're about halfway spent, and we've got half the stuff. We just need to get out. That's all we need to do here. Diluvian Stalkers as well. Excuse me. I don't know why I'm not getting better. The Diluvian Stalkers are weak to Whirlwind. So we're going to be using a lot of Whirlwind in this final leg of the game. But the thing is, I don't know. I don't know what I really think about that. Because I would have liked to have been using lava. Is it that way? Where the hell is my way out? I need the right temple. Is that the life temple or is it? I think that's the exit over there on the right. So let's go right. Let's take a right every time from here and see what happens. Oh, well, we got a gem here, which is a way that I've never been before, so clearly that's not right. No, that's the other side of the rock I was at earlier, so that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I would have preferred if they were weak to, like, lava, because lava is just not an element we've used at all. It's not good for melting ice blocks. What's the one enemy that are weak to it? There's one enemy, it's the water elementals. Nothing else, really, is it? Maybe there's some obscure enemy that is weak to it that I just don't know. So we're now near the water realm, and we've got another diamond. So we only need 15 more diamonds to extend our air cell, which is great, because I really do want it extended for the final power of the game that I'm going to show you. We'll keep going. Yeah, and there's nothing else. So, and we've already used plenty of Whirlwind because of gargoyles and stuff. Here's a cool moment where you get behind these that fence that we'd seen previously. Very cool. I do very much enjoy that moment because that's like, oh, wow. Especially if you're like on barely any fire left and you're desperate to get out. And then you just see the gate and it's like, no. Oh, so close to freedom. I'm sure there are people that have spent their time, you know, fumbling about in the dark here. I'm getting really low on health too. I'm worried about that also. There are probably people that have spent their time fumbling about in the dark. No, not a rock there. That's not good. And then just found that and like to try and get home. It reminds me of Pokemon. Ooh. Oh dear, this really isn't good. I don't want to die down here. I'll be very, very disappointed. It reminds me of like Pokemon, the original Pokemon, where like, for example, what is it? You're in Dark Cave. Don't hit me. You're in Dark Cave. There's another diamond this way, so I haven't been this way yet. Is this the quick way back out? And you try and do it, and if you look at your Game Boy screen in just the right light, there's another one. Don't hit me. Crap. Oh, I'm like one hit away from death. I can't even armor up because I need this fire shield. This is not good, guys. This is not good. I'm pretty sure we're near the exit, though, because there's 2 rocks there. Yeah, the exit. Is this the exit? Oh, amazing. We made it out alive. 1 hit away. Okay, now just don't fuck up this jump. Oh dear, I feel like I messed that up. No, I didn't. We can fly a lot further than I always give myself credit for. Wow, there you go. So that's the labyrinth. That's how you get your 100 obsidians. You have to do that. You have to brave the exit at least once if you want to buy this final upgrade. So it's really a lot you have to commit to. You have to find every damn collectible in the game and endure that. You know, for most players, all they have to do is go through the maze, find the lift down, and that's it. They're done. For us, we have to go in and come all the way back out again, which is not something that's easy to do. So anyway, I'm going to go up to the top of the tower, and we will get our final pickup.
Help us, Azurik.
Jeez, so close to death. So close. Help us, Azurik! I'm not going to be able to taunt the townspeople much longer. Okay, so let's head on up. Oh, I really need to... Okay, I'm not going to be able to show you the power this episode. And that really sucks, and I'm so sorry, but I didn't restore my fire element, so we're a little bit low. So instead, what we're going to do is collect it, and I'll show you what it does. So first, where is it? It's over here. First we'll extend our health 1 final time, and our health will now match our armor's capacity, you know, for max level, which is very cool. There you go. Look at that huge health bar. Impressive stuff. So we'll pop our ice armor. There you go. Look at that. And this is our final power. Game's not going to tell us what it is, but what this does is it halves the consumption of your elements. So basically, if I keep popping my air attunement, air now it costs half as much to fly as it did before. And that is really significant. And that's significant because there's one power in the game which you trigger by activating all 4 elements at once. And it is incredibly costly. And as you level that up to like power 3, you know, as you get to like water power 2, and everything universally is level 2, then everything universally is level 3, and you pop this final power is max strength. You need to have extended your fuel cells, all of them, like really high, and only when you get that final power up from 100 obsidians does it become semi-viable to use. Like, it's completely ridiculous, sucks all your elements away otherwise. I will show you it next episode. I'm going to go off screen and get those last diamonds in the meanwhile. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Azurik, Rise of Perathia. Join me next time for our descent through the sewer once again and into the Death Realm, where we will confront Balthazar and the Guardian of Death for once and for all. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I will see you next time.